Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, it's Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 11, title You're Gonna Need Someone on Your Side, air date March 11th, 2008, and the synopsis is:
Jamie has nightmares about Dan, who is indeed paroled. Lucas and Lindsay decide to coincidentally have separate bachelorette and bachelor nights at the same place, so Nathan and Haley are bound to meet. Brooke arranges a hot blind date for Peyton, but the joke is on her as Owen's friend is Chase. Jamie's efforts to get his mom and dad to make up in turn make Haley realize she shouldn't have tried to change Nathan, and Victoria pushes Rachel out to Brooke's disgust. So we start off with Lindsay covering up Nathan, who's on the couch asleep with the blanket.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm. And then she walks into the kitchen and, tells Lucas poor Nathan.
Okay, I don't understand this part.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they like, poor Nathan, poor, like, why in this episode is everybody just like, poor Nathan? I don't understand this at all. Does no one know what happened?
Lucas should.
I don't understand, because like then Skills kind of makes Haley feel bad, and I don't understand this at all. Like, do these friends not understand what Nathan did? And of all people, Lindsay shouldn't be like, poor Nathan. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you would think that because Lindsay is with somebody that's kind of somewhat doing the same thing, having feelings for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
She's in this little love triangle. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Nathan and Haley. I'm not saying that Nathan and Haley and Carrie were a love triangle at all. That was just, cheating. But Lucas and Lindsay are somewhat in this love triangle. So, because obviously both parties know about it. Like Haley didn't know about it, so that's not a love triangle. But I'm just like, Lindsay of all people should be on Haley's side, given Lucas and Peyton. Also, how much has Haley been against Peyton for Lindsay? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Every chance Haley gets, she is shutting Peyton down, her feelings. He's with Lindsay. All of this to respect Lindsay. And then here is Lindsay's chance to be a good friend. Instead, I feel bad for Nathan.
Yeah, and Lindsay saw that red flag with Carrie too, so.
But, okay, but again, Haley's not like poor Lucas.
Mm-mm.
She's poor Lindsay. I'm like, So, like, I'm sorry, but like after this, Lindsay does not deserve a friend like Haley, because look at who she's siding with. Basically, she's siding with Nathan when she should be siding with her friend Haley. Also, how close are Lindsay and Nathan for Lindsay to be siding with Nathan?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, is she only siding with Nathan because that's Lucas's brother? And I don't know, she wants to be on Lucas's side. I don't know.
But it's weird. Like, again, Haley has done everything to go against her friend Peyton for her, and yet she just blows that off and is like, poor Nathan. Like, screw you, Lindsay. Like, honestly, I don't like you at this point because you're not being a good friend to Haley. None of them are being a good friend to Haley. Let's be honest. That's what just doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah, but then Lindsay says that she doesn't want.
But isn't it weird that like they're turning it as if Haley cheated?
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird.
Yeah, so it's weird that Lindsay said that she doesn't want Haley worrying about throwing a bachelorette party when her marriage is struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like this whole thing at all. Plus, do you remember when Haley came back, really the only person that was on her side was Lucas, and then Brooke did because she finally said, "You did what you did."
Mhm.
Like, I don't like it, but like, let's move on. Like, she still somewhat, told her she was wrong, but and Lucas, he liked to argue with Haley about the whole thing, remember? So none of them really gave Haley an easy out. Remember? Like,
Mhm.
everybody had their opinions about Haley. And is going to sit there and have their opinions about Nathan. They're all just going to be like, we'll just let it slide. It's Nathan. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
How come Haley got basically hated, but Nathan's not going to? Like, in this, and I'm not saying from the fans. I'm saying from the group, the friends. I don't understand how you can say crap about one of your friends, but then the other one gets a pass
Right.
for basically doing the same thing.
Mhm.
Because he did. He was flirting. He was starting to have feelings for Carrie, even though he knew it was wrong.
Mhm.
To me, like, again, just because one did something wrong doesn't mean the other one should do the same thing and make it right. That does not make it right. Two wrongs don't make it right. So
Mhm.
I don't get in this friend group why they're giving Nathan the pass. I don't get it.
Mhm.
Out of anyone, like, don't you think like Lucas? He should be telling Nathan. Do you remember what happened to Haley? Do you remember when you didn't forgive her in a week, in a month? Do it? I don't know. I just like wish they would all remember what happened and how they treated her and treat him the same way, because all they're doing is treating her as if she just needs to get over it and take him back tomorrow. More like
Right.
today.
Mhm.
It's like, dude, you guys not understand a thing?
Right.
Also, do you remember when Brooke found out about Lucas and Peyton and, you know, she like exploded at them
Mhm.
and didn't want to be in their lives or have anything to do with them? And she was only dating Lucas. Here, Haley's actually married and has a child with this person.
Mhm.
And how would Brooke feel if she was in that situation? How would Peyton feel if she was like, how is it these people do not put themselves in her position?
Right.
Instead, they should just be together and she just needs to get over it.
Mhm.
Like, it bothers me so much of how they're treating Haley the same way they treated her in season 3 when
Mhm.
she didn't do it this time.
Right.
That's what bothers me so much. Doesn't it bother you?
Mhm.
Don't you feel like she should have someone be an ally for her
Right.
and
Yeah.
be like, no, Nathan messed up.
Right.
He deserves her to be mad for a whole week. I mean, it's only been a week. Plus, remember, I don't know, he made her life miserable for 4 whole months.
Mhm.
Like, how come nobody is saying this?
Right.
I I don't get it. They're acting as if Nathan has been like this amazing husband and he never messed with their lives for 4 whole months.
Mhm.
And oh yeah, there was no cheating either. I mean, he was just so innocent.
Mhm.
I mean, think about it. She had to try to come back from the whole 4 months into trying to like him again.
Mhm.
Like had those feelings. And then the cheating happens. It's like, eh, you know, you're gonna second guess everything now because you lost who that person was to you,
Mhm.
after all this. I mean, 2 things in a row that happened, and yeah, she's gonna have to think about it.
Mhm.
But I'm not saying they should get a divorce, but I'm saying a little time apart helps clearly because it helped Nathan. Remember when he was like, I like being married, but then I don't. Remember when he was
Mhm.
debating if he even wanted to get back together? It's like, How come she can't have those same thoughts?
Right.
I don't like it. Like, nope,
Mhm.
she just needs to get back together. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Do you think that do you think she should just get over it in a second, or do you think she should have some time?
No, yeah, she should have some time, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, Lucas knew about it before she did. Um, Lindsay kind of did if she paid more attention. Trying to think of anybody else. No, I don't think anybody else did, but
Well,
I don't know.
and I know in the episode they bring up, oh, didn't we warn her? Okay, just because you hire a hot nanny does not give your husband a pass
Mm-hmm,
to cheat. Are you kidding me?
mm-hmm,
I don't understand how that is a pass. I
mm-hmm,
don't understand that at all. Honestly, you know what Haley should do in the future when it comes to Julian and Alex? She should be like, oh, I don't know. He just has a pretty, a hot actress. Oh, like, are you kidding me?
mm-hmm,
But Haley doesn't do that
mm-mm,
because she's a good person. But for Brooke and Peyton to just be like, we warned her. Yeah, I don't think so.
right.
That's just so wrong.
Mm-hmm,
Just because you hire a hot nanny, like, yes, is that a red flag? Yeah, but he should also not go after her.
mm-hmm,
Like, yeah, it's not good to, you know, put some food in front of the dog, but at the same time, he just shouldn't do it. Like,
right.
again, he is the one that's responsible for this, not Haley.
Mm-hmm,
So I don't like that even the girls were like, we warned her. It's like, what? You didn't warn her at all. You didn't say that there was flirting going on or anything to that near. The only person that could have tried to stop it would have been Lindsay if she would have opened up her mouth. But again, she was not a friend because a friend would have said, pulled her to the side, said, I need to tell you something, what happened at that dinner. But
mm-hmm.
Lindsay did not say that. So again, there's actually 2 red flags that Lindsay is not a good friend to Haley. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because Lucas maybe could have said something to Haley, but obviously he's more, well, I mean, Nathan should have told her anyways, but because beforehand it was, trying to get Nathan to forgive Haley when she came back home right away. We kept like pushing him. So yeah.
Do you think Lucas didn't do it this time around because he was like, you know what? You've been so nosy in my relationship with Lindsay and Peyton right now. Remember, because she went after Peyton and Lucas for kissing. Do you think that he's like, you know what? You meddled. So you know what? I ain't gonna say anything.
I don't know. They kind of fought too the last time Haley saw him kissing Peyton in the library when they were in high school. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and she yelled at him then too.
Mm-hmm.
And she confronted him here and yelled at him here too. So it's like, do you think maybe he's like, I ain't saying nothing because she meddled in my life. So,
I don't know.
and plus Nathan said, basically, I have to tell her. So maybe Lucas is like, hey, that was his news to tell. Like,
Mm-hmm.
unlike you, I'm not going to say anything. That person should say something.
Right.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. And maybe he's got this guy code with Nathan that's like, I'm not going to say anything. Like that's for you to tell, where girls are more like, I need my friend to know this information.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's what it is? Like the girl code versus the guy code?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't really hear too many guys run into the other one going, I need to tell you about what's going on.
Right.
Where like girls are more like, we need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Lindsay should have been the friend because again, she's the only one that knew what Nanny Carrie said.
Right.
Where she could be the friend, but she has not been the friend that I've seen that Haley is to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. And then Lindsay and Lucas come up with the idea to have their parties at the same place at the same day.
I was gonna say, well, and isn't it like tomorrow or tonight?
Yeah. And then do you even think that Lucas and Lindsay are even getting like married too quickly too?
Yeah, they're getting married like next week.
I mean, obviously they have to speed up because of the whole time with the show, but still, like in real life, that'd be really, really, really quick.
Well,
Um,
okay, what is this? Is their bachelor and bachelorette party?
yeah,
Don't they do that like right before they get married?
yeah, because the next episode after this, they get married.
Yeah, so I'm confused because then they're out there. There's a scene of Lucas and Lindsay registering for gifts. And you typically have your wedding shower at least a couple weeks before, and then you would have your bachelorette party like
Okay.
the week of or a couple days before your wedding. So it
Mhm.
doesn't make any sense like why they would be registering for gifts, but then next week is their wedding.
Mhm.
Like when is this wedding shower then? Or bridal shower?
I don't know. We just didn't see it, I guess. Yeah.
It's weird. I'm like, you would have that first, and
Mhm.
then you would have your bachelorette party because it's right before the wedding. So why are they registering for gifts? Are the people supposed to be bringing the gifts tomorrow?
Yeah, to the ceremony. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What do you mean to the ceremony?
I mean, we didn't see anybody walking with them, but I don't know. Like, where else? When else would they even have their presents? I don't know.
That's why I'm like, what is this? Is this supposed to be the
Mhm.
shower or not? And
No, it's yeah.
and if it is the shower, then why are they registering now? They should have already registered so that people have a couple weeks to order the gift. Like, what if something needs to be ordered? You know,
Mhm.
what? Like, it's so weird. You got
Mhm.
to give people time. You can't just be like, okay, I want a gift tomorrow. And here, oh, and by the way, I'm going to give you the list tonight.
Mhm.
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't understand why they're registering.
Mhm.
They should have already done that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the next morning when they got engaged, since they were going to get married 2 weeks later.
Mhm.
Maybe that's when.
Yeah. So they're having their parties the same time and the same day, so Nathan and Haley will have to be forced to interact with each other. And then later on, Jamie sits at the counter in the kitchen where Haley is and tells her that he saw Grandpa last night in his dream. So Haley says they'll do a double check the monsters before he goes to bed tonight.
That was weird. Because she said, we will do a double check. And I was like, who's we?
I think she meant both of them, like
There's
her and Jamie.
only you.
Yeah, I think she meant like her and Jamie, yeah. And then shows that she made him breakfast with a smiley face, like Carrie used to do.
Yeah, but then he said, when's daddy coming home? And
Mhm.
didn't really have a good answer for him. So he flips it over, the smiley face.
Yeah, to a frowny face, yeah.
And again, it's all about Nathan and that he misses Nathan. That's what I mean. Would he miss Haley if it was the reversed?
Right.
Like that's what I'm questioning. Would little Jamie miss Haley as much as he misses Nathan right now?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Right. And then Lindsay and Lucas, start putting their plan into place by Haley tells Lindsay that, they're going to have something for the girls. And, Lucas says they're going to have something for the guys. Something low key. And, Nathan says he'll be there, of course. And Lucas says he knows he has a lot going on. And Nathan says, yeah, he's living on his couch. And Lucas says on his mind, actually. So, yeah. And it's just going to be them and, the guys and Jamie.
So, you know what I find weird?
Hmm.
When Lucas says to Lindsay, like, if I had known it was going to be a whole week that he was going to be staying here, that I would have cleared out my mom's room. You've been at that house for how long and you never made it into a guest room yet?
Right.
That's weird. Like, huh? What do you mean
Mhm.
you got to clear out? Like, why haven't you done that just in case anyone, like in case Jamie spends the night? Like,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah, we do.
That was weird to me. Like, you're an uncle. Like, you should
Mhm,
have somewhere for your little nephew to stay if you have an extra bedroom. It was
mhm,
weird.
right.
Well, and plus, like, um, what if like anyone from Lindsay's family or friends come to stay with you for a weekend or something? Don't you want them to have a room?
Mhm,
It's weird. Like, you never cleared out your mom's room. It's just weird. So
mhm,
that to me just means that it's basically your mom's house and not yours. Because if it was yours, you would have cleared out her room.
mhm,
Do you know what I mean?
mhm,
And made it your house.
right.
I'm just saying. So it's just always going to be Karen's, and he's never going to touch that room. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Mhm. Yeah, we don't know exactly how long he's been there, because it seemed like he was living with Haley and Nathan when he was doing the coaching for the college, games, and then he moved back to Tree Hill with them, and then moved in with Karen, and then she left to travel the world. So yeah, we don't know how much time that was, maybe some months, you know.
Well, I feel like it's probably been since they graduated, and then they came back to Tree Hill because remember Nathan was supposed to be getting drafted. So they probably all just came to Tree Hill because he was there for Nathan's accident. So he has to be at least living there for like 4 months,
Yeah.
you
Oh
know?
my
Because I'm sure once it happened, then he was like, okay, I have to stay here and help Haley.
hmm And then Jamie's at Skills, and Skills mentions the joint party, or he does.
Oh my
And
God. But then he said that he goes, man, your parents are messing up everything.
hmm
So he said he was talking about the party and everything. And Jamie goes, I went to a great party last weekend. And then Skills is like, what'd they have? And he goes, cotton candy, moon bounce, and wacky string, and then donkey rides. And then Skills said, yeah, I had a donkey ride. I had a donkey on my list.
hmm
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. And then Lucas is at the river court when Peyton shows up, telling him, let her have it, and she deserves it. And he's
Yeah.
confused.
And he's like, what? And she's like, Lindsay didn't tell you about the library and that, she was, like a bitch to her. And he was like, yeah, Tim rescued you. And she's like, yeah, but, like talking about herself. And he's like, you were mean to her again. And,
hmm
but then she said that she's really great. And I was happy that she said that because she could have, continued. But I think Peyton in the library actually gained a little respect for Lindsay.
hmm
I don't know if Lindsay gained any respect for Peyton, but I think Peyton did for Lindsay.
Right.
Um, so that was nice that she could tell Luke or Lucas the truth. Like, no, she is great. So,
hmm
I think it was also her like nod of like, you can marry her.
Right. And at the store, Millie asks Brooke, if she hooked up with Owen in New York, and Brooke says things are just really good. And then she asks the same to Millie about her and Mel. And Millie says things are great too. He's been sweet and delivers her a treat, and before he leaves, gives her a kiss. It's the best part of her day.
That's
So it's
cute.
two treats if you count the kiss. And that's when Mouth does walk in with
Uh-huh.
a
And
comprehensive
then
table.
yeah, except for then Brooke has to ruin it by saying that Rachel's back. And then, then they found her in New York and that she overdosed and that she's staying with her. And then he's like, oh, is she okay? But then she said that um, a visit from you would help.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it changes.
Yeah.
Mouth is just only thinking of Rachel and not Millie,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which is bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And here and here's the thing is
Mm-hmm.
like this is where like real relationships happen of like if you're friends with the other sex,
Mm-hmm.
you sometimes lose that friendship because, you know, your number one should be the person that you're dating or married to.
Mm-hmm.
And here, Mouth is proving that Rachel comes first and not Millie. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like your relationship with Rachel right now that you're with Millie, or at least you want to be with Millie. I don't know what it is, but it's like that should be number one. Rachel should come second. So you can be a friend, but not like be there for her as much as you used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, again, Millie should come first. I'm just saying that, like, that friendship that you used to have with Rachel should be over
Mm-hmm.
because Millie should come first.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think?
Well, it depends on the friendship and all that. So.
Yeah, but Rachel and Mouth always had this weird relationship where, I don't know, it was like one and more. Rachel kind of threw herself at Mouth, and that's not a relationship that you would want your significant other to have.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if it was like Mouth and Brooke, that's one thing. Because Brooke isn't throwing herself at him and like trying to be inappropriate. She's just being his friend.
Mm-hmm.
Where Rachel wasn't. She was always being more.
Right.
And that's what I mean is that should be toned down
Mm-hmm.
if he wants a relationship at all with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying is when you become an adult, like your friendships change. I'm sorry, but they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because that person that you date should be number one.
Right.
You should never feel second too.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you think about it, is exactly how Lindsay's feeling
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to Peyton.
Right.
And that should never be how you should feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Millie was watching Mouth the whole time, how he was reacting to the news of Rachel, and then notices he didn't give her a kiss before he left.
Yeah, and that's the thing is now Sonny's just focused on Rachel and doesn't even that's where he puts Millie second, and it's like, wow, like just those words. Oh, Millie's now second.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly where she should be.
Mm-hmm. And Mouth was sweet too because he gave Brooke a latte as well when he came in.
Yeah, and did you see he didn't kiss her like he probably would have kissed Rachel?
Yeah.
It's just weird, their
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
And then Peyton goes to see Brooke at the store and hands her something, and Brooke says, that's a letter from 86, or number 86 from the setbacks of Lucas Summer. She can keep it.
But nope, instead, it's the money that she lent her for her label.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said she got paid for Mia's deal, which I mean was very fast. And then it was funny because Brooke's like, this is way more than I gave you. And she goes, yeah, it's double.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's funny because Brooke's like, okay, like Brooke eventually is like, okay, I'll keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wasn't planning on fighting her of like, no, like I only, like I promised you only, just pay me back what I owed you or what I gave you, not the whole interest and everything.
Mm-hmm. But when Brooke asks like how like what the deal was like by Colombians, I don't know if that was like meant to be like a microaggression or something, but that was random.
What is it?
She said Colombians when Peyton says that she got the Mia's deal, handled.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was just weird for her to say. And then that's when Lindsay walks out in the dress that Brooke's making for her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And Peyton's being nice and says hi to her and everything, and she makes.
Well,
a
she
beautiful
said,
bride.
yeah, she makes a beautiful bride, and I was like, oh, see, that was sweet. Like, even though it might still be weird because it's from Peyton, but at least she's being nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she really loves the dress, and Brooke's happy, of course.
So that's when she brings up the bachelorette parties, and that they're combining them.
Mm-hmm. And not Haley's, not
Yeah.
like a fall. It's at Haley's house. I thought that was weird because then that means that Haley still had to do the work of making sure the house was nice, So,
Yeah. And then that's when they were like, oh, have Nathan and Haley even talked? And that's where they bring up the hot nanny. It's like, that's just very sensitive. I'm just saying. That if it
Mhm.
was any one of them three, they would not be happy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
Um, and then that's when they're like, that's when they say like, oh, we kind of told her, like warned her. It's like, oh my God. No, you really didn't. All you said was she's hot. You didn't go any further.
Right.
And that's what I mean is Lindsay should have. She knew.
Mhm. I'm just saying about the house because Lindsay said she didn't want Haley to have to put together a party, but then Haley still had to do the work at her house to make sure it was nice for the party anyways. So don't know why they said that earlier then.
Yeah. Well, too, I guess it was a way of like maybe Haley said let's have it at the house because maybe Haley wanted a distraction.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if you like if Lindsay says like, oh, I have everything handled, then Haley would be like, well, I need something to do it. I need to get my mind off this. So maybe she was like, just let's have it at my house because then I can plan it and I don't have to, think about other things that I should
Mhm.
be thinking of.
Yeah, maybe. Just wish they would have mentioned it. It just seemed like it was kind of put on her.
Yeah.
And then Skills and Jamie are shopping for, supplies for the party. And they've got some, things already, but then Jamie spots a family playing like One Tree Hill's version of Guitar Hero.
Yeah, and then that's when he was like, is daddy gonna be at the party? And Skills, was like, yeah, and he goes, and mommy too. It was so cute. And he goes, yep. Then he said that's when he can't tell either one of them. And then that's when he's like, can we play rock band? And he's like, good idea, kid. Like, but then did you hear what he called them?
Yeah.
He's yeah, what did he say?
Um that he has the party thing down and calls him Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
He's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I was like, Hugh Hefner's parties are not a kid party. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Like Skills. I guess he doesn't really know how to be around kids, does he?
No. And then Lucas and Lindsay are at Macy's doing their, yeah, like you said about the wedding register. I can't say that right now. At the
Registry, which
mall.
is weird,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then was it her that brought up his next book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which for Lindsay, it's like anything to like all their conversations always like come back to his book. Like she can never pull away from her being an editor and being a fiance.
Mm-hmm.
It always just comes back, which you should be able to. You should be able, this is work, and then this is our life. It
Mm-hmm.
should never be, this one and the same.
Right. But I don't know much about publishing, but wouldn't you think that Lindsay would have other clients of authors to edit and not just Lucas?
Well,
Because
maybe she's not that good.
it just seems like she's always working with Lucas and nobody else. So that's why it's like she's desperate to get, writing out of him because it's her job too on the line. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I get it's her job, but yeah, I mean, she should have other authors, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess she only has one,
Right.
which would mean she's not that good. I'm just saying, you would think that her full-time job would be with others too, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if she doesn't, then I guess really Daddy did give her the job only because it was his daughter,
Maybe,
and
yeah.
not because she was a good editor.
Mm-hmm. So then they kiss when Brooke and Owen walk up. And, Brooke's picking on them, like, poking fun, saying PDA's like so seventh grade in the mall. And then tells Owen to kiss her too. Then he playfully dips her. And then Brooke explains they're just there killing time before her big meeting.
Yeah, except for then there's Bevan working there, and she was like, "OMG, Brooke and Lucas," and then she spelled Ravens,
Yeah, does a
and
cheer.
yeah, and then she just goes on and on, just keeps talking where they couldn't even say anything, and then she said, so after graduation, she got a job, got married, and had a little boy, and then she pulls out the pictures, the same one that Tim had, and
Mm-hmm.
that this is where you find out that they're the ones that are married. And then
Yep.
because she said, yeah, this is Nathan. And it was so funny because like obviously Lucas doesn't know because he wasn't there. So Brooke shows the picture to Lindsay because Lindsay was there. It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they like look at each other and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
But what's hilarious is neither one of them said anything to Lucas of like Brooke or Lindsay or neither one of them said, "You're married to Tim?" Like, because then
Right.
Lucas would have been like, "What?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
there was never anything of that. I feel like,
Right.
because wouldn't that be something like we would say
Mm-hmm.
of like, "You're married to Tim?"
Yeah, because
Because, like, to get Lucas to be like, "Hello,
mhm.
help us."
Yeah, because obviously Tim and Lucas weren't. I mean, yeah, Tim and Lucas weren't friends, but yeah, it would have been shocking for him to find out. Yeah.
Well, and obviously Lindsay never told Lucas that, "Oh yeah, by the way, we ran, by the way, Tim saved us." And he is also, his kid's name is Nathan. And because clearly Lucas didn't put it together if he did know.
Mm-hmm.
Where the girls did, because right away they saw the picture and they know his name's Nathan. So right
Right.
away they knew, but Lucas must not know.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird, because like if you're in the same friend group, and wouldn't you tell them?
Right. Yeah.
It's weird how like the girls know, but now the guys don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's weird.
And then I think maybe the son is brought up maybe once more later on, but after that, Tim definitely isn't. So um, it's like in a way the girls and only the audience know, but the guys never do. Yeah, which is really weird.
Yeah, like in your friend group, especially because some of them are in a relationship together.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that they would tell their significant other, especially like for Lucas. Their kid is named after his brother.
And then I know we're skipping ahead, but I get they should eventually find out later anyways when Bevan and Skills gets back together. But then I don't remember them showing the son either. So like did he go to full custody with Tim or because there's a whole bunch of kids that are shown later at the end, but I don't think that there was that certain kid there.
Yeah, but here the kid is, I don't know what, maybe 2 years younger than Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
So if Jamie is in high school now in the end, the kid probably would be too.
I know, but like all the kids were there in the bleachers, I mean,
No, that's what I'm saying is all the kids were younger.
yeah, I'm just saying that.
Where this kid would be around Jamie's age. And
Mm-hmm.
Jamie was on the court.
Right.
So maybe the kid was um either on the court or went to a different school maybe or something. Do you know what I mean? Because clearly the kid was almost the same age, as Jamie.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean like he wasn't with Bevan, period. It just seemed like that he just kind of disappeared. Because
No,
it was,
yeah, but we only saw Bevan at the very end, and she didn't even have a talking point.
I know, I'm just saying like there was all the kids there, so I just thought maybe that he would have been involved, included.
But he would have been a teenager with the little kids.
Yeah, I know, just because it seemed like they tried to put everybody in there at the last second. So,
But I also, like I said, maybe
not Tim though.
maybe their kid was playing basketball at a different school.
On the same day.
Yeah, all basketball games are on the same day.
Hmm. So you don't think Bevan would be at that game instead of this one that she doesn't have a son on?
Well, maybe she lost custody.
Yeah, so I'm saying like is he with Tim or what?
Well, he probably is, but I'm just saying that, Tim disappeared, so maybe his son did too.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just weird.
If their kid is anything like Tim.
Mm-hmm. And then Bevan mistakes Lucas getting married to Brooke.
Yeah. Brooke and Lucas getting married. I thought you'd marry Peyton. And Lindsay's just like,
Yeah.
again, she just talked the whole time and gave no one else time to talk.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Bevan moves on by asking Brooke if she's heard from Rachel. And then we segue to Rachel standing in the patio at Brooke's when Peyton walks out asking how she's doing.
And then she said, "You guys," she said, "You don't have to babysit me."
Mm-hmm. And This is probably the first time we've seen Peyton and Rachel.
That's what
really
I was.
together.
That's what I was thinking. Was honestly, this is kind of like the first time I really saw them together, really, because it was always Brooke and Rachel,
Mm-hmm.
and Peyton wasn't really a part of it unless Rachel was trying to sabotage Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is really the first time we see them together, and it's together without Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
And because Brooke is obviously the only person that puts them together, and so that was nice to see them actually have a scene together because we never saw it really, except for when she's trying to get her wasted.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I liked seeing this because again, we'd never saw it before. And how she could be there for her, but I also liked how she was saying, like, Brooke believes in you too.
Mm-hmm.
And Brooke is honestly like a friend that kind of helps everyone in life, kind of, because she got Peyton on her feet. She's helping Rachel trying to get her on her feet. Brooke is kind of that person.
Yep. And yeah, Rachel just says she's gonna make it up to Brooke. And then we go back to the mall where Owen asks Brooke how Rachel's doing, and Brooke says, well, but it's been hard on her. And then Brooke even mentioned that, like, and she said it's really hard on her and so gross. Like, did she mean like the detox of it all, or because that's not a pretty sight? But I don't know. She didn't explain further.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But she thinks she's strong enough to stay sober. And then he says that he knows he was opinionated about how she fired Rachel, but he thinks that she was just projecting. He was just projecting. And it's great she's trying to help her out. And Brooke says, she's not just helping her because she fired her. She's helping her because she needs it.
Yeah, then they run into Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
And then Victoria was in a meeting with Macy's, apparently.
Yeah.
And then she said, not to worry, your input wasn't needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Yeah, and she even moved it forward so Brooke would miss it. Yeah.
Yeah, and she said it was just business talk, way over your head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just throwing insults. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And like Brooke would understand if Victoria like actually taught her too. So I don't know why she's not just doing that. I mean, she wants power over Brooke and the company, but still.
Yeah, it's like she only wants Brooke to design, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can just sit in the corner and design, but I will do everything.
Right.
So that I can hold over your head. So annoying.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because if Brooke was in those meetings, she could learn the business side, and then she could talk for herself, unlike Victoria.
Mm-hmm. And then, she says that this is where Brooke's been hiding herself all week, and she says she's been busy, finishing her wedding dress and handling personal things. So Victoria tells her that she can just go back to that. She's dismissed and tells her to go play. It's what she does best. Just continuously embarrassing her in front of people. And Owen tells Brooke, she's trying to put up with that. She's her mom, but she can't be partners with somebody like that. And, like pushing like before, everybody that keeps telling her about Victoria, she just tells Owen that she thought he was working on the opinionated thing. And then
Yeah,
Lucas,
but I don't think it's really him being opinionated. I think it's him just trying to help her.
yeah, no,
Like,
that's
see
what
the
she thinks,
see
yeah.
the truth. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, for Brooke, like, it's not, he's not being judgy like that. It's him just trying to help you see the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. And then Lucas drops Jamie off at home and starts running up the stairs until Haley asks for her kiss, but he gives her like more of a raspberry. So then he goes upstairs, and Lucas asks Haley how he's doing, and she says, he's okay. She thinks he's over hating her, but she's still, the bad guy. And then Lucas has to joke about, she'll have to worry when he files for emancipation. And then asks, how things are with Lindsay. Are they ready for the big day? And he says, there's not a lot of time, and she wants his new pages first. So it sounds like she kind of gave him an ultimatum about writing before they get married. Is that what this is here?
She's just very pushy.
Mm-hmm.
She probably did. Knowing Lindsay, she probably did. I want your draft before we get married.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think she doesn't want him to like put all of his energy into the wedding, and then months go by and it's like, oh, I still don't have it for you. because
Yeah.
oh, like his excuse would be, oh well, we got married,
Mm-hmm.
like that kind of thing.
Yeah. And then Haley says if he needs an extra set of eyes, she'll be happy to help. She was his first editor after all. Wasn't
Which
that
is
actually Glinda?
weird. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she meant like just homework.
Yeah.
Because that must have been the thing of like, yeah, you might have read his drafts of papers he wrote in school, but when it came to his book, the only person that knew about his book was Glenda, and he gave it to her first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe if she just, was reading it before Lindsay got it, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe like if he
but
added more to it later on and then gave her, Haley that part.
but again, remember he asked Glenda, "What did you think of it?"
Mm-hmm.
So technically, she would have been, unless he never told Glenda. Or, I mean, unless he never told Haley that Glenda did it and made her feel that she was the first one.
Right.
Like maybe after Glenda, read it and liked it, then he gave it to Haley and then never said Glenda read it.
Right.
Because remember, he never wanted to put himself out there with the friends in case it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he just never told them.
Yeah.
And maybe Peyton never told her either because Peyton knew.
Mm-hmm. And then she tells Lucas if she doesn't like it, don't hate her. And that's when we segue to Brooke coming home and telling Peyton to not hate her because she had a date to the party tonight.
Yeah, Owen's friend is in town.
Yeah.
And it was funny because she goes, supposedly he's super cute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and Payne acts, a blind double date, and Brooke points out that's only half blind. And Payne says yes. And she tells Payne to say yes because it's the Payne she knows and loves. And because if she shows up with a date, she's gonna look really classy and, over, Lucas.
It was funny though, because she was like, she goes, I'll go
Mhm.
get ready, but he better be cute.
Right.
It was funny.
Mm-hmm. And then Brooke tells Rachel she invite her to the party, but Rachel says that detox and parties don't mix. And Brooke promises her, they'll get back home early. And then Rachel says she's talking to Payne earlier today about how, she helped her out with her business and she feels motivated to go back to work and, wants to start modeling at, Close River Girls again.
This was kind of hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Rachel's finally excited about something and it's not, drugs. And Brooke's like, yeah, I didn't mean model for Clothes Over Bros. I meant working at the store.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, ugh. I mean, I get where Brooke's coming from of like, she doesn't want her to be in that situation because remember, Brooke learned firsthand when she was in high school with that one model of how it is. That's why I'm honestly surprised that she even let Rachel a part of it, given how she saw firsthand how the models are treated and everything. Like you would think that you wouldn't put your friend in that position. But she did, and she doesn't want her to go back because she does know about it. So that was a little weird because she knew back in high school. So
well,
anyway,
maybe she figured if she was like, Brooke's model, then she would be able to keep a close eye on her,
like a tight leash.
No, just like, watch out for her, make sure she doesn't like go to those parties,
But she didn't. She wasn't.
That
Yeah, but she wasn't there. She probably sent someone, oh, here's my designs. She probably didn't go.
Well, I'm thinking maybe at least at the beginning she probably kept a close eye on Rachel, but then she got busy with the company probably and with Victoria, making her do things as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was kind of hard to see how Rachel go from like excited, because she thought she could work again, but then to no, just the store.
Right.
And also, it's like, oh yeah, and also the store that's in Tree Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like they probably have other stores, but nope, just this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she's disappointed, but tries to shake it off and acts like she completely understands. But feels bad.
But you see her, get crushed, which was hard for me to watch. I feel like because she's still fragile, so you don't want to ruin that.
Mm-hmm.
And Brooke did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Brooke says that she feels like she let her down once and she can't do that again. So yeah, so maybe she, feels responsible for how Rachel ended up, but she
Well,
wasn't like
I think
looking
she
out for her.
does. I think she does because she was modeling for her. It wasn't like she was
Mhm,
modeling for anyone else. She was modeling for her, so she feels guilty. Plus, it was her friend, and she
mhm,
didn't feel like Rachel felt that she could call her. Remember, because she
mhm,
fired her, and then
mhm,
that's what made her really go downhill was because she fired her, and then she felt she couldn't call her. So, yeah, of course, she feels guilty.
mhm. And Rachel tells Brooke that it wasn't her fault, that was all on her own. And she's not going to make those same mistakes again. She's strong. And, Brooke agrees about that. So they should just give it time with baby steps. And, Rachel seems to be okay with that. And then at the mall again, Dan buys a basketball. And the cashier asks if it's for his son. And he says his grandson. And the woman says she never would have guessed.
So, everyone right this second is all at the mall.
I guess, yeah.
It's funny.
I mean, this was in the late 2000s. Like, the malls are kind of still, you know, popular at the time. Um, but I'm surprised that well, it seemed like Dan went later anyhow, but he could have easily ran into anybody else, Lucas or Brooke or somebody,
That would have been funny if he would have ran into Lucas because it would have been like, wait a minute, I thought you were with Peyton.
hmm
Like
Yeah,
everyone else keeps saying. Plus, that was the last relationship he witnessed.
right. And then yeah, this woman's name is Patty and asks what time she gets off of work, and she says, that depends. What time is he gonna pick her up? And then Millie goes to see Mouth, telling him he looks nice, and he says that he's just getting ready for Lucas's and Lindsay's party. And Millie asks, if that's going to be after he sees Rachel, and he says he was thinking about it and asks why. So Millie tells him, that Rachel once had her guard the women's bathroom at the bungalow 8 while she did things with a guy or two, and she just, knows what she's about,
Well, and
and she
that's
knows.
I think that's the hard thing too for Millie is because she knows Brooke or she knows Rachel. She's
hmm
not just any other girl or any other friend. She's somebody she actually knows.
hmm Yeah, so she tells him that she knows that he has history with Rachel. So do you think Brooke probably told her then,
Probably.
or maybe even Rachel herself? I don't know. Um, I mean, she probably could have just mentioned a guy she knew in high school without Millie even realizing it was Mouth until now. But do you know that the Bungalow 8 was actually a real nightclub in New York?
Nope.
Yeah, and it actually permanently closed in 2009, so just a year after this episode aired.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then Mouth tells Millie, that Rachel's a friend and he's going through a hard time and he just wants to support her. So did this kind of remind you of in Dawson's Creek when Andy had herself overdosed and Pacey was there afterward instead of focusing on Joey?
I mean, I didn't think of it.
Right. I mean,
um,
Mouth and Rachel weren't actually, exactly dating, but yeah.
well, and I feel like Rachel wasn't Andy. Andy was trying desperately to get Pacey kind of to, you know. Didn't it feel like to you like Andy was like trying to be the one that he would help where Rachel isn't?
Maybe, yeah.
Like if Rachel knew he was with somebody, I feel like Rachel would be like, you need to go be with her.
Maybe, yeah.
Where Andy didn't. She was never like, go back to Joey. It
Yeah,
was it
Rachel's
was
changed, yeah.
yeah, it was nothing like that, like anyone else would be.
hmm
I think she liked the attention from him where Rachel, I feel like if she knew, she probably would say, go be with her. Or why aren't you with her? Like just kind of
hmm
questioning him.
Yeah, she was, yeah, a better friend because she can do the same thing with Nathan, but she wasn't friends with Haley either. So,
Right. But like Andy wouldn't do that.
hmm and then Mouse says that he, probably wouldn't be best if Millie went with him because it would probably be insensitive to her condition. And, Millie points out that Rachel's never been sensitive to anyone else's condition but her own. And Mouse says, she doesn't know her like he does. And Millie says she knows. That's what she's afraid of. And she tells him it's okay just to go. She'll see him at the party.
Oh my God. And then you go to Nathan and Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
and they're walking up to the house, and that's when Lucas is like, "Oh yeah, about the party. Haley's inside."
Right.
And Lucas is like, "Yeah, I figured." He said
Yeah.
that. He said, "You're just lucky I missed my wife."
Mm-hmm.
And then he was talking about, like, can you believe this? Like I have to ring the doorbell at my own house. It's like,
Yeah.
no crap, Sherlock. Like again, like whose fault is this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hello, he's just lucky that she didn't throw all his things out like he did to her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, sorry. He boxed them up, but he put them, I have no idea where.
Right.
Where did he put all her stuff?
I don't know. Yeah.
So, he should just be lucky she hasn't done that yet.
Mm-hmm. And then Owen and his friend get to Brooke's house where Brooke finds out his friend is Chase. And then Haley opens the door to see Lucas and Nathan. Nathan tells her hi, and then back to Brooke. Brooke tells Payne and Rachel that Owen's friend is Chase. She's like breaking down in the bedroom. And Payne acts, clean some Chase, and Rachel says this is getting good.
So this is actually a funny scene because Rachel and Peyton are just having the time of their life with this.
Mm-hmm.
And even Brooke is like, "You guys think this is funny and stuff?" And it's like, yeah, they do find it funny.
Yeah. And Payne asks Rachel if she's sure she doesn't want in on this, and Rachel says no because she's barely clean and hardly a teen. And Brooke's like, "What should we do?" Like, Payne says, "Do you want to call it off?" And Brooke says no, then thinks and says no again.
Oh, but it was funny because Brooke's like, "If you hook up with Chase, for the record, you're taking a cab home." And so she takes money out and she's like, "Well, you're paying."
Right.
It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because, like, again, if she's over Chase, why would she care if she's hooking up with him?
Right.
Also, isn't it just weird how, like, Brooke's relationship ended in season 4 with Chase? And then now we're seeing him again, and it's just like, what happened between these two
Mm-hmm.
is what I want to know.
Yeah, they could have said something here about it. Yeah.
But they never say it, even when they see each other and they actually have a scene together. They never once talk about it. About like, I miss you, or I'm sorry for how things ended, or I'm glad things ended, or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because they ended as if there was going to be something, great out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't. Remember how we had their whole episode, remember, was about what are we going to write in the yearbook? Because I want to tell my feelings. And it's like, why, when we're never going to know?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's okay. So you did a whole episode on that. Now I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually
annoying. And then Payne tells Brooke if things get awkward, just say the word. And that's when they're in the car. Brooke says awkward, and Owen's like, what? And she says nothing.
Yeah.
And
funny. Then it was funny because it's like, because Owen's like, okay, like, what's going on? And then that's when Chase is like, remember that girl that I told you about? So apparently they knew each other, obviously way back then. But he was like, the one you were constantly talking about. And Brooke's like, just like smiling. And he goes, constantly. And he's like, but yeah. And then it was funny because Owen's like, the fake virgin chick you lost your virginity to? And then he's like, do you remember her name? And then it's like, oh, and it was funny, like when he was like clicking, when it was all clicking to him, and then they were just like thinking it was hilarious, which was funny.
Yeah. And then at the party, some people are playing Guitar Hero, so Jamie's idea was a good one. And then Nathan walks up to Haley and tells her he's sorry. This wasn't his idea for them to be there. He can go if she wants. He can go if she wants to. And
but she said they need to talk anyway. And then that's when Jamie comes up and he's all happy that they're there. And he's like, can we play Rock Band? And Nathan's like, yeah, sure. And she's like, I'm busy. And then she just says that that he can play with Nathan. It's sad.
Yeah.
And it was also sad because Nathan didn't go and play with him. Like, you haven't seen your kid really all week, right? Why aren't you playing with him?
And then Owen tells Chase he can't believe he didn't put it together before. The guardian must be going to his head, and Chase says he never put it together either. They both said Brooke, and Owen, points out that Chase had said Brooke that's actually the started the fashion line, and Chase says, yeah, he should have figured it out. And Owen told him to stop smiling,
But it was funny.
And Brooke looks at Chase from afar, and he's still smiling. And then Rachel ends up getting ready and, invites mouth over Brooke's. And now there's a chocolate fountain at the party and a woman wearing a balloon hat like Jamie's. So they're just using all of Jamie's ideas, which is cute. And then Haley and Nathan are eating in the kitchen, and Nathan goes to wipe off some chocolate off of Haley's mouth.
Yep, and she's all, I can do it. Yep. Which is like, ooh, not a good thing.
Yeah. And then, they try to speak. Nathan tries to talk to her, but then they get interrupted by Jamie, because he wants just to play with them, and just trying to get them together,
Yep. And again, she's nope. And then it was funny because he's like, I thought you'd be happy to see me. And she's like, I am happy to see you, but it's about Lucas and, Lindsay, not about us. And I'm like, which is funny because that's exactly what they were trying to do with this party.
Right. And then,
it was sad though when Jamie's like, when he wanted to play and he told like Nathan, I meant all of us. And he's like, I know. And it's like, so sad.
Yeah. And then, Skills comes to the rescue and tells Jamie he'll play the game with him. Jamie's too sad and just tells him that's okay, maybe later.
Oh, when he walks off and then he walks past Brooke and then Brooke sees on the sand.
And then elsewhere, Mouth tells Rachel his college roommate had spent $6 on Vogue for her clothes over Bro's layout. And Rachel's glad to hear that, but it's been downhill since. And, Mouth says coming out of high school, they all wanted to rid the world, but it's tough. He basically had to sleep with his boss just to keep his job. And Rachel's kind of like impressed to hear this and tells him he's come a long way. And she's probably, she probably still have her job if Brooke had that role. And then says she was a little jealous of everyone's success.
Well, and then he said that he, like, why didn't you call? I would have helped you. And she goes, that's why I didn't. Like, I know you would have.
Yeah, and Mouth asks if there's anything he can do for her now. And she says, if he remembers the motel room in Honeygrove, well, she could, use the release, natural high, and he starts to show that he's not into the idea.
So what in the heck happened in Honeygrove? It's like nobody ever, it never really came out of what in the heck happened. Everybody asked him, but he never really said anything. It's so annoying.
Right. And then, but he keeps screwing away from her and says he just can't do it. But he doesn't mention Millie. He just says he can't do it. So I don't like that.
Yep. Because again, she probably would have backed off if he would have said, I have a girlfriend or I like somebody. So annoying.
And, Rachel's, saying she must look terrible, acting like this. And he says, no, she looks beautiful and she can have whoever she wants and whatever she wants. But she doesn't believe that. And she needs to learn to let go of whatever it is that makes her think she's not good enough. That's when she's going to beat this, when she learns that she matters. And too bad he didn't give her this speech, just like an hour later, maybe, after Victoria gets her claws into her. But she kind of forgets all these words that he told her later on.
I liked when Brooke went to talk to Jamie.
Oh, yeah, and then Rachel had gotten that message from, somebody to party with her, too, and tells her to bring party favors, so that was already a step in the wrong direction again for her.
But when Brooke goes to talk to Jamie, it was so cute because, like, he was sad looking at the picture of Nathan, Haley, and Jamie, and she said, like, those are the two people who love you most in the world, almost as much as I do. Almost as much. I think they love him more.
Yeah, it was just a joke. Yeah.
But then it was so cute because he was like, "Is he your boyfriend?" Also cute, and she's like, "You're the only boy in my life, or the only boyfriend in my life." It was cute. And then it was funny because he's like, Owen told him, like, I owe you. You got me another chance with Brooke. And then he goes, "What's under all the clothes? Like, did you ever find out?" And then she's like, "Okay, boy time's over." But it was so cute. Like, I love the relationship between Brooke and Jamie.
It was nice to see him getting along with Owen too, even though we know he's not going to be around for much longer.
Well, and it's nice because, like in this episode for Jamie, Skills is trying to be there for him. Brooke is trying to be there for him.
Mm-hmm.
I just like it.
Yeah. And then Lucas walks up to Haley and tells her he hopes she doesn't feel too slighted by the setup. And she says she expected it too. So both her and Ethan knew this was going to happen.
Mhm.
And,
But then, so I liked when she said that you picked the right person to spend the rest of your life with.
mm-hmm,
And he goes, so did you. And of
Mhm.
course, like Nathan's just watching.
right.
I liked that they both said that, like to respect each other.
Mm-hmm,
Because you really don't want your friend to be like, that is not the person
right.
for you.
Mm-hmm. And then Chase walks up to Peyton outside and says, this is kind of weird. Then again, he did find her pretty cute back then, but he was with Brooke and she was with Lucas. So that came out of nowhere.
Like you liked Peyton, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like all of your scenes were with Brooke.
Yeah. And then he asks Payne if she still loves Lucas, and Payne says, he's with Lindsay now.
Again, what does that matter that he's with somebody else? You can still love that person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like you can still be in love with that person even if they're with somebody else.
Right.
It just means you don't act on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah. And then Chase kisses Payne and tells her that Lucas was looking. That's why he did it.
It was funny.
And yeah, and then Payne looks over and Lucas looks away. So he was right.
And again, Lucas, you're marrying Lindsay like next week.
Or tomorrow, I think, even it seems like.
Yeah, whatever it is. It's like, and yet you're going to be worried of who Peyton is talking to and might be kissing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. And then Mouth finds Millie, asking if he missed the fun, and she turns around and sprays him with a spray stream. And she says when she was a little girl, she used to do that with the boys that she liked most. But then after one of them cried from getting some in his mouth, she abandoned it. And she tells Moss she really likes him, so next time he goes to visit some hot former model who has some sort of, sexual history with him, and who's in a vulnerable state, just consider her. And he tells her he's right, or she's right, you can do that. But he didn't mention that Rachel tried to make a move on him, and he, rejected her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he didn't mention that, but I guess he just wanted to move on from Rachel.
Yeah, I think he just wanted a new start.
Mm-hmm. And then elsewhere, Owen tells Brooke that he told these kids that his mom, basically he goes on like a childhood story about a cake that he really thought was really great to impress his friends, but it was something, handmade.
Well, then he said how it was embarrassing, and she was like, no, like your mom sounds sweet. And I like that she said it because again, like, we know Victorian, she even said like, on a rare occasion that her mom actually remembered her birthday. I like that she wants to hear other people's stories of their parent, but also, it makes her feel sad. But I like that she's not the person that's like, oh, like gross, where she's like, no, like that's sweet. Like you should be happy and proud of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so apparently Victoria only gave her, a credit card to go buy something sometimes if she remembered her birthday. And then back at Brooks, Victoria walks in, walking up to Rachel, who's on the couch.
What did you like though when she said, "Hey, junkie"?
Yeah, no.
What? Like,
so, did Victoria know Rachel was there? Because she slammed the door, waking her up. So I'm wondering if she was already mad that Rachel was there.
Well, she's been there. Remember, she's been hiding out for a whole week.
Yeah.
So she says, "You and Peyton are like blood-sucking vermin that just won't go away." Oh my God, it's so and again, so clearly she doesn't know that Peyton paid her back and is doing good. It's so annoying. And then she's like, "Where's my daughter?" And she's like, "She's at a party." And she's like, "Of course she is." It's like, what? Like, not every party is a party that you think it is.
Right.
And then she was talking about like when she's not running around with the partying with the bartender, she's running a halfway house.
Right.
Oh my God. I don't think that is a halfway house.
Mm-hmm. And Rachel starts to say that she's doing, better now, and
She don't
Victoria
care.
says, yeah, like maybe today, but tomorrow she'll like have gone to Prada's. Rachel said this different this time, but believes in her. And
And then she said that she goes on and said that she's pathetic
mm-hmm.
and like you're like lying to yourself and stuff. It's just
and that she convinced Brooke to cut her loose and she can do it again. Like,
yeah. And then she said, she talks about like relapsing and stuff and that she's a waste of their time and money. It's so annoying.
mm-hmm. Yeah, just like undoing everything that Mounts and Brooke said to her, or Peyton said to her earlier. Like these three people that believed in Rachel as well, and Victoria just brings all of that down.
So does Victoria have a key to Brooke's house?
Yeah, it has to, unless they didn't lock the door, like they seem to do on shows. Yeah.
Because it's really annoying. Because if you know Victoria's in your house and you know that your friend is fragile, why would you like keep the door unlocked? And why? And if you didn't, why would you give Victoria a key?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you want her in your house like whenever she pleases? I wouldn't. And also, like, she doesn't like Peyton, so why would you give her a key? And now, even worse, Rachel's there, who's very fragile. So why would who gives that person a key?
Mm-hmm. And then back at the party, Skills, we're getting drunk, sneak up behind Jamie near the bounce house, which then they put him into and start bouncing with him.
You mean start throwing them on the ground or on the ground of the bouncy house?
Mm-hmm. So, Haley walks by and tells them to take it easy. He's, really small, and then they have to go anyways because it's bedtime soon.
So I did like when Skills was like, like not to like pry in your, life and stuff, but like I've always known that he's little.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is where he gives Haley a hard time about it. And it's like, oh my God. Like, and honestly, what Skill says doesn't really help her. All it does is make her go on further to say, like, we're done. It's not we're getting back together. So Skill's push wasn't really a push, to help the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he was only looking out for Jamie here because she was kind of, not ignoring him, but just, kept saying she can't play with him right now.
Yeah. But all Jamie wanted was for the three of them. And what I'm saying is for Skills, it wasn't a push for all three to be together for her. It was a push to keep dividing it by saying we're done. Like, that's all the push was. It wasn't a push of like, you're right, all three of us belong together.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then she doesn't really have anything else to say, so she walks away from him. And then Lucas sits with Lindsay. She says she can't believe they're getting married, and says, there'll be another, or he says, then there'll be another Scott in the trio.
Yeah, and she was like, "Who said I'm taking your last name?" And I'm like, "Well, I wouldn't really want your last name."
What, his or?
No, I wouldn't want Lindsay's last name.
Oh, I don't remember what it is.
I would take Lucas's.
Mm. And she asks how their plans working out, and Lucas is moving to the talking at the start.
Yeah, except for it's not really. It's goes on to their scene, Nathan and Haley, and it's Haley saying like she shouldn't have changed him and all of this, and that she realized it's not fair anymore. She knew who she married, all this, and that's when she said she's done trying and walks off.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, well, there you go, Nathan. That's your answer.
Mm-hmm. And then Jamie's in his room holding his bunny, who was visibly shaking hair. It's kind of making me laugh because he just wasn't holding still for Jamie.
But isn't that a little cruel to the bunny?
Yeah, it seemed like the bunny was stressed. Yeah, I don't know how many takes he did for this or what, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, even once, like that was just enough for the little bunny.
Yeah. And then Skills walks in, because that's the only reason why he was holding him to mess with Skills too, because he walks in, and saying that, all of his ideas, were really great with the party. And then he tells, Jamie that he's always going to be there for him. And Jamie says, do you want to hold Chester? And Skills doesn't. I mean, we already know that Skills doesn't like. Wasn't it a snake last time at the dare
Uh,
game night?
yes, it was. But who the heck likes snakes? Most people don't. But no, then he not like the turtle or something either.
Yeah, and now a bunny. So he has some phobia with all animals apparently that I wish we could have got more info on. Like, did he go to a zoo or something and was like they all ran loose or something and they all attacked him or something, went after him or something when he was a kid? Anyways, Jamie messes with him, making it look like the bunny jumped when Skills was gonna pet him, making him jump. And Jamie thinks this is so funny. And then Brooke is in Nathan and Haley's bedroom looking for her coat when Chase walks in, asking if she's looking for a coat or stealing wallets, making a joke of how they stole the test back in high school. And then, Brooke mentions the Renault syndrome thing, because, that was the thing back in the day. Mentioning her every time they can. And then Chase tells Brooke, her career sounds pretty thrilling, and she says it is. And what about him? Is he a thrill-seeking pilot boy yet? So when did Brooke even know about this information of Chase? Like, did they talk about this before they went their separate ways? Like, he wanted to be a pilot?
Must have been. It must have been like in the 4 years we never saw.
Yeah, because that just seemed like, news that she knew out of nowhere. And, Chase just says he's being a carpet salesman to pay for flying lessons. And then Brooke asks how, his date's going with Peyton. He said it's good. And then he tells, Brooke, like, you and Owen, huh? And like, he's a good guy. And Brooke agrees that he is.
I like that Chase helped her with her jacket. It was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like remembering them last season and how we'll never see it again.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, you just never see their relationship like this ever again. Not even as friends. They were never like really good friends. Weird. It's like if there was no bad blood when you broke up, and you're in the same friend group, it's weird. And it's never really talked about after either of like they dated.
Right.
And that they were serious. They said, I love you. And they kind of had plans to be together after. Yeah, it's never talked about.
And then Lucas and Lindsay are in the moon bounce. And they're looking up at the stars, and talking about Keith and her dad, and like if they would be friends or not in heaven and all that. And, Lucas is saying, like, her dad raised her really well. And, Lindsay tells Lucas that her father loved him, and so does she. They have that moment together.
Yeah, and that they would be friends, basically, yeah.
And then Mouth is walking around the house when Millie sprays him with the string again. And he says he thought she abandoned that tactic, and she says she figured she'd take the risk, then tell them goodnight. And he asks if she's forgetting something, and then he kisses her, so he remembers, and says that's the best part of his day, he missed it. And she said his first two, and then they leave together, so they've made up. And then in Jamie's room again, Skills is reading him, a book, and then Haley walks in, and she tells Skills thank you. And then, Haley just watches Jamie read his book. So we don't see her like join him or anything, but
nope, again.
And then Chase and Peyton are walking, and she said she had a good time tonight. She thanks him for having fun with her, and then she kisses him. And that's what that was for. And Peyton says that Brooke was with
So now it's your. I liked how he did it for her, for Lucas, and then but it's weird because like, does Brooke really like Chase?
Right.
It's like obviously Lucas still likes Peyton, but does Brooke really like him and care that much?
Right.
That was my thing.
Yeah, because she doesn't really try to get back with him after Owen leaves, right?
Or even talks to him, really.
Yeah. So that's random. Yeah.
So that's why it's just weird because it's like, okay, you kissed my ex that I really don't care anything about. It's like, okay, where Lucas is like, no, I still have feelings for her, even though I don't want to admit it. Yeah, two different things, but okay.
Yeah. And then Nathan is with Jamie now in his room, and Jamie asks if he's going to be there in the morning, and Nathan tells him no.
I mean, this whole thing was just so sad. And, when he said, like why mommy won't let you stay. Oh
Mhm.
my God. And of course, Haley eventually comes up to listen. And he's like,
Mhm.
no, it's not mommy. You're the best mom in the world and everything. Don't forget that. Cause, clearly
Mhm.
like he's finally realizing like you need to say something to this kid
Mhm.
because he does not like mommy right now.
Yeah, that's why he was, being so open to Carrie,
Yeah, remember I want her.
Mhm.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
So I was happy
yeah,
that Nathan said this.
yeah, finally someone was sticking up for Haley in some capacity.
Yeah, and then he said, "Are you ever coming home?" And he said, "I hope so." And he goes, "I hope so too." It was so cute
Yeah.
and sad.
Mhm.
But it's like Nathan, you know, needs to at some point realize what, you gotta stop.
Mhm.
You like if something's bothering you in your relationship, you need to say something, not avoid it and then, cause more destruction.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Mhm. And then another sad thing, because Brooke gets home to find Rachel gone, and Peyton finds out, finds the envelope of the money that she had gave Brooke for her legal earlier. She took all of it, and she tells Brooke she tried, that she wasn't ready. So that had been a good sum of money, like thousands and thousands, right?
Oh yeah.
And plus, Payne said it was even more than Brooke gave her. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it was
that's
double.
good. Yeah, a lot, like a big amount of money that Rachel just took. And Sally will probably use it, to get drugs and all that. And then with Dan and Patty again, she tells them that
Oh my God.
that's a
So
story.
yeah. And he goes, I just got out of jail for killing my brother. And she's like, you're not right. And he's
Mhm.
like, and she goes, so did you do it? And he's like,
Mhm.
yeah. And it's like, oh,
Yeah,
then she's like starting to like become like, terrified. And
concerned. Yeah,
it was funny.
I don't know who would joke about that either. Like I would believe that if they said it. Yeah.
Right. But I'm just like, and it's just so funny because like he just no, I killed my brother. It's like,
Yeah, nonchalant about it. Yeah.
well, what? Like who just walks around saying that to
Mhm.
strangers?
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Because couldn't somebody like make a report or something being like, I don't feel safe with him being on the streets after he just admitted he killed somebody to me or something like that? Maybe.
But what's the proof that you're really scared? What did he do to, just because someone said
Yeah.
I killed,
Yeah.
like he did his time.
Mm-hmm.
And if as he must have been a good little boy in prison because he got let out.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so it was too the early release. So clearly he was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't yet gone after his kids or anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so clearly he's a model citizen.
Yeah. And then at the store, Victoria shows up because she said she saw the light and wanted to make sure Rachel wasn't cleaning them out. But she kind of would have been right about it if Brooke told her that she get that money. But Brooke says, "What's that supposed to mean?" And she asks, if she's been to her house. And Victoria just starts walking, with a look on her face. So Brooke follows her next and she says something to Rachel. And Victoria says, nothing the mirror couldn't have told her.
But
And Brooke,
again, see, Brooke, this is why you don't give Victoria your key because
mm-hmm,
she never said how did you get in. She
yeah,
said you've been to my house, and it's like,
mm-hmm,
yeah, because you must have given her a key, which you would never do if you did not like your mom. Like if Victoria was your mom,
mm-hmm,
you would never give her a key. That's what I don't understand.
mm-hmm. And then Brooke tells,
It would only like I could only see that if Victoria was staying with her,
mm-hmm,
but she's clearly staying in a hotel when she's there.
right. And then Brooke tells her to leave her friends alone. And Victoria just says she's trying to protect her from making another mistake.
Well, yeah, I liked when she said that firing Rachel was a mistake, and she's like, "No, that was business."
Mm-hmm. And Brooke just says that's not the way she wants her business to be. People deserve better. And Victoria says that's exactly why she wasn't in the meeting today. She's too emotional and she needs to remove her from business. And Brooke tells Victoria she's here now, because so she's there. So she's here now, but what about the years she was growing up? She never
It
wanted to
was
be a part of her life until she started a company.
Which is true. And then it was weird because Victoria was like, what, cheerleading school president, stop being childish. And I was like, so you weren't there present for her cheerleading. You weren't present for student or when she was a student council president, like you only heard about those things. You weren't there for them.
Right. And then she made those accomplishments sound like they weren't worth anything too.
But it was just weird. Like when she brought them up, I'm like, okay, yeah, great. You know about them, but you weren't. Did you ever go to any of her cheer competitions or any games to watch her cheer? No, you did not. Did you go and watch her, like debate or, win to be the school council president? No, you didn't do any of that stuff. So I don't understand what she's yapping about. Plus, when she was it Victoria somewhat a lot of time in California, wasn't she? Or was it just her dad? When Brooke was going through that with Felix to be the school council president? Like, because that's when they lost their money.
Yeah, it seemed like they weren't still there either.
So I could see where Victoria would be like going to California, remember, with the dad. So she wouldn't even really know about it.
Yeah. And then she like looked into, Brooke's yearbook one day and saw all that. I don't know.
And I wish Brooke in this scene would have been like, I did all of that on my own. Because she did. I mean, yeah, she had the help of her friends. But she did all that on her own. I mean, she's the one that said, I'm going to do this and followed through. So I wish she would have said that. Like, I did this. You did not. You weren't there. Like, I wish she would have said that.
And then Victoria.
But I like when she said, you're fired.
Yeah. Yeah, because, Victoria was saying again, like, she took the company as far as she could. And that's when she, came to her when she needed help. And Brooke says Rachel needed her help. So, yeah, that was the...
Yeah, but then she went further and said, you earned my help. Rachel didn't earn your help. And it's like, what? What do you mean? And that's when she says, I earned it. That a daughter's not supposed to earn her mother's love. I'm like, exactly. But yeah, when she said you earned it, what?
Yeah, so I think that's when Haley's words from the library finally got to Brooke too in this moment. Yeah,
I think everything finally got to her of like, I think this is what got her, is you earned it.
Yeah, and after even Brooke says it's supposed to be unconditional, Victoria just says whatever and walks away. So
yeah, and then that's when you're fired, and she's like what? Like, you can't fire me. It's like that's when she goes, it's my company. And then she says, I am not an employee. I am your mother. And it's like, so you're still fired.
Yeah. And then Haley's in bed reading Lucas's manuscript.
You know what she should have said? She should have said, you haven't earned the right to be my mother. You haven't earned that title. That's what she should have said.
Yeah. So Haley's reading Lucas's manuscript, and then she looks over at her and Nathan's wedding photo on the nightstand.
Yeah. So then she picks up the phone, and you think she's going to be calling Nathan, but of course it's not. She's calling Lucas.
And then Brooke gets home, and Peyton can see she's upset. She hugs Brooke while she cries, and then Lucas answers the phone.
Yeah, and Haley says, well, she doesn't say anything, does she? Oh, she does say, yeah, you can't marry Lindsay, and then he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, because he asks if everything's okay, and that's when she says no. So, and Lindsay's like right there, in his arms.
Yeah, like hopefully she didn't hear anything.
Yep. So,
because that's her maid of honor.
Yeah. So I think Haley actually read that manuscript pretty fast to tell him that same night.
Well, she'd been reading it apparently for a couple hours, probably.
Yeah, it must be late. Yeah, night. Yeah.
Isn't it like? Aren't they getting married? Isn't it like the next episode they go and pick up Karen?
Yeah.
So, because remember, don't they talk more about his book? The next episode, like the next day?
Yeah, in the morning or something, yeah.
Yeah. So remember, does he say like, now about this? Like, so it's like, oh my God, they got married literally the next day. Then what in the heck was they registering for? You're gonna make people buy you a gift after you're married?
Yeah.
oh my, that's why I don't even know why they were registering. Why
Mhm.
couldn't they just be shopping for party gifts or something? Like that would have made more sense
Right.
instead of registering. Um, so for me, the high was the party and um the comedy between um Brooke, Peyton, Chase, and Owen. It was funny
Mhm.
when he found out. Um, I also liked how Brooke and Skills were there for Jamie because his parents weren't.
Mhm.
Um, and I like that Haley finally came to her senses and saw which is weird that she had to see from reading his book that he shouldn't marry Lindsay,
Mhm.
even though she just should already know that being his best friend.
Mhm.
But I'm glad she's the one that's going to probably change, but she doesn't really change his mind because he
Right.
still goes through with it.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I liked all that. The low, oh, let's see here. Victoria, when it comes to Rachel, I mean, she was still low,
Mhm.
and then she made it worse by kicking her out, basically, and then making it even worse than that, which is saying that her daughter has finally basically earned it, her love.
Mhm.
No.
Right.
And then what was yours?
Yeah, the worst was with Victoria tearing Rachel out and ended up, how she ended up bleeding and everything. And then and just like relapsing and stealing money. And then the high was when Brooke finally fired Victoria after all this time. Because even though it's been like half a season or so, it seems like a lot longer. Like we have been there for the last 4 years too with Brooke and Victoria. So she's finally cut her loose and Brooke can take the reins of the company now and finally believes that she can do it, herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Um,
rating.
I would rate this 8. I liked it.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
you know why I also liked it?
Mm.
Carrie wasn't in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like finally an episode in season 5 that she's not in.
Right.
I don't know, because like in my memory, season 5, she just seemed to be there a lot.
hmm
So I was happy we finally have an episode she's not in.
Yeah.
Because, I know she'll be in the next one.
hmm
And then what would you rate it?
That's an 8 too.
And then who is your best and worst?
Best was Skill because he was the one that was constantly there for Jamie, at the party, making sure, he's okay because he kept being let down by, Haley and Nathan, and making sure that Jamie has fun at the party too, and not just focusing on his parents the whole time, and also, listening to his ideas about the party because they were, a success, and making him feel good about that, and trying to be nice with his pet bunny even though Jamie was messing with him.
Mhm.
And then, reading him a book, or letting Jamie read him a book, before he went to bed. And then the worst was Victoria because of everything she said to Rachel, and then, try to bring Brooke down again, saying she's not smart enough to do this on her own and everything, the business side, and just, cutting her at the meeting and everything and embarrassing her in front of Owen and everybody. So, yeah.
Um, yeah, the worst is definitely Victoria. For everything she said to Brooke and Rachel.
hmm
And then I thought that the best was actually Brooke.
hmm
Because she is helping Rachel, trying to keep her sober, even though they have to do it on their own. Um, just like she's staying at Brooke's, but she gets a text. It's like, well,
hmm
she's gonna choose to go. You can't really lock her up.
hmm
And so I liked that. And she was there for Jamie at the
hmm
party. She stood up to Victoria finally and was also standing up for Rachel. Um, and also that she's finally coming to her senses that she wants her company to be ran a certain way
hmm
and not the way Victoria is running it. And, you know, um, yeah, I liked her in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's next episode?
Yeah, episode 1200. So this was the 100th episode.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.